Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the afternoon sessions. How was lunch? That was pretty awesome lunch, wasn't it? Right? Yeah. I love those tacos. Great. Beautiful outside. So my name is Donnie Pingaro. I'm the managing broker for Side in Florida. Honored to be here for another side-by-side with all you wonderful people. And we have a crazy, crazy cool panel here too with 4 amazing partners. It's called Future-Proofing Your Business. And the thing I loved about this as we were talking about it is this is like a really ambiguous thing where it's really choose your adventure. So I think this is gonna be a really fun panel. So without further ado, I'd love to we'll go ladies first here, to introduce our panelists, who you are, where you're located, and what's your brand.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Maytal Tab, with founder of Libel Real Estate, and we're located in Orange County, Laguna Beach. Number 1 team in Laguna Beach, number 2 team in Orange County. Nice. Super fun stuff. Thank you. Nice to see everyone.
All right.
Yeah. Great. Well, me, Jay Wu, co-owner of Hyla Realty on the west side of Los Angeles. And people are like, west side? So Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, and everything in between. And that's what the business that we work in. Been a realtor since 1996, so I've been around for a bit. And I have my team here. My partner and my admin person is right here in the front row. So, yay.
Great team.
I'm Matt Luke, founder of Major League Properties. We're in Orange County as well. Yeah. We are currently number 1 in Yorba Linda, city of Placentia, and we've been with Side for 5.5 years.
Awesome, right?
Yeah.
My name's Steve Clark, Backbeat Homes. We've got an office. Thank you. I don't think we're currently number 1 anywhere. We have an office in Pasadena, Santa Barbara, and here in the desert.
Outstanding. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for all joining us. We have 4 rock stars in our industry here. And let's level set kind of the topic of the day, future-proofing. What does that really mean, right? I mean, it could mean so much to everybody individually. So again, let's start. Steve, I'll give you the first lead off on this particular one. What does future-proofing mean to you? And we'll let everybody level set.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. I don't know if there is such a thing as future-proofing. So I think the way my brain wraps around that question or that task is basically, how do you succeed in this industry? How do you become a great real estate agent, a great team leader, owner? They're synonymous. So demographic farming is something we've leaned heavily into instead of geographic. So finding your people, finding your niche. Major League, Matt, that's a genius thing. I mean, it's synonymous with baseball and sports, and he's found his thing. We came from the music industry. So, I don't know what the industry is going to look like in the future, but I know if we continue to do a great job, serve our clients, and have a good time doing it, we should be okay.
All right.
I don't know who you are, but thank you very much.
Woo! Jay, what does future-proofing mean to you?
Well, I think the future, it comes from the past, right? And so future is all based upon how we treat people in the past and having a consistency of leveling up every single time. And I think that when you gather mental capital, which is learning everything that you can possibly learn about your industry and be the expert, and then you share it with the relationship capital, the people within your sphere, other colleagues, other partners, other community members, then the financial capital follows. And so having the mental capital, sharing it with the relationship capital, and the money will follow. But chasing the money first is how you destroy the other 2 things. And so to have a great future, you've got to take care of your knowledge, the people that are in your life, and then the money will be there.
Love it, love it.
Yeah. Good.
So Matt, you were a pro baseball player, athletic background. I'd love to hear your version of future-proofing because I think there may be some similarities there.
Sure. Yeah, well, for me, future-proofing is having a meaningful mission. So why do we do what we do? You have to have, what's your why in this business? So having a meaningful mission and then surrounding yourself and finding people that are authentic, that can share in that have those values. And not just with our team, but we carry that over to our clients as well, right? So we grow as a company. I mean, we encourage one another, we support one another, we pray with one another. We get in there and we grind with one another in this business. So that's it for me. It's really 3 things. It's It's the people that are authentic. It's an environment of excellence. I had the privilege of playing with the Yankees, part of the 1996 World Series championship
Absolutely.
team. And in that, I learned about an environment of excellence. So they show up every day. You do the little things every day. You hit the singles. We don't go for the home runs all the time. We do the fundamentals, and we stay consistent.
Absolutely. And I was at that parade thing, so thank you as a Yankee fan for all you did in 1996. That was a great team.
Thank you.
Mittal, future-proofing, what does it mean to you?
Future proofing for me comes down to a really sustainable brand that is being carried not just from us as team leaders, but being carried through our agents and our team members on our team. In our team, every team member is a true extension of our brand, and our brand is very focused in a way that we have our mission statement and our mission statement is really built into our everyday activities that we do. And I can be very proud to say that every agent on my team really carries similar core values. And it creates this ecosystem of agents that work together and grow because I always say when you wake up in the morning, no one day can be alike. It's either going to be a little bit better or a little bit worse. And if you're here to really leave a mark and make it in a really meaningful way, that is an unbreakable bond. And beyond that, that bond really goes a big, I really believe in relationships and creating relationships with your clients because that's something that goes deep versus wide. Mm-hmm. And that's always going to be an unbreakable bond.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, that's great.
So what I'm hearing is there's a cohesive thread here of having a vision, right? Which is just fantastic. And it's cohesive with your team and your community. But let's get a little bit deeper into how do we execute that vision, right? That's what we're here for, to learn kind of from these great people. So show of hands, how many people do an annual kind of business plan? Looks to be 50-50-ish, right? Okay. Let's future plan and business plan. Do you make a future plan, Mittal?
Yes, we do make a future plan. Naturally, the business plan is being, we do that at the end of every year. We also review it quarterly. But I really believe that we do our future planning every day. Because when you wake up in the morning, again, your day is not going to look alike. So you just really have to decide what mark you're going to leave in this day and how you're going to serve and how you're going to provide value in a specific day in a way that's really meaningful. So it could start by planning with very basic things like how many people I'm going to serve today, what type of follow-up, how many people I'm going to provide value to bigger things of quarterly and yearly planning. But it's a moving target, and we do that every day.
Like that. Matt?
Yeah, so I think we spent 2 months in October, November, meeting after meeting with our agents, just pouring into their strategic business plans. And it's different for everyone, I would say. So know your agents and know what their goals are. Every one of our agents has a different bandwidth, has a different neighborhood maybe or strategy, sphere of influence. We have some agents that spend $0 in marketing, and they're some of our most successful agents. We have other agents that are geographical farmers. So I think going deep, like you said, Donnie, getting to know who's in your company and how you can support them is huge. And then really, as partners, it's our job to help them thrive. To pour into them, create an environment of support, create an environment of training and encouragement, and point them back to those goals. If we make some commitments in November for the following year, we want to be looking at those in February and March and April. We want to look at those again every 6 months. Say where are we missing the mark? What are we doing that we aren't? What are we doing that we should be? What are we not doing that we should be doing, and vice versa? So yeah, business planning is a big part of what we're doing, and I think the intentionality has helped us grow.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what direction you're going to go with this, but I'd love to hear Do you future plan with you and your team?
Are you judging a book by its cover?
No, just good conversation.
Just joking. Well, I believe that to have a great year ahead, you've got to look at what you've done in the past. And one of the great tips I got midway last year is if you live by a calendar like I do, every single day is marked out in what I've done that day. So I can look back to January 1 of 2024 and look at every single day, notate what in a second of each day, what I accomplished, and then take that to the month. And then in 2024, I know exactly what I did every day with my time. And so a large chunk of that was networking with attorneys, networking with CPAs, networking with other professionals, and looking at that 70% of my time was spent in that, and where the growth of the business was based upon education, sphere of influence, and spending that time in the business. And that helped me to predict how I would do in 2025, what kinds of things I need to be focusing on, and definitely the more people that I help connect to each other is the best way we get to grow together. So that's been a big impactful thing in probably the last 15 years. So.
Dialing in those analytics. I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So just a quick side note. One of the things I love about our industry, and I mentioned this to you guys earlier, is how different we all are and how different we run our businesses and how there's no, right or wrong way to get to the finish line. I don't do it like that. I don't. I have no idea what my calendar, but that's another thing. No, but what I do when I first started, the manager at our office had an open door policy. And I really respected that I could go in there at any time and talk to them. So what we do is on Wednesday's agent day for me. So anyone at the company can book a half an hour in person or Zoom. So basically from 9 to 6 on Sundays, all I'm doing is taking meetings with agents. And what's cool is the consistency is there. And so we can talk about, hey, last week you mentioned you feel like you're working too many hours, not spending time with your family. We adjusted some things. How did that work in the last week? And every agent at our company has a very different list of priorities. It may be money for this person, it may be time with family for this one, and I'm here to encourage and help them get there.
Awesome. All right, so we're 4 for 4. We're all great planners here. These folks are all buttoned up. Let's throw a little curveball at them. Let's talk about a mishap, right? All great plans. They don't always go as we expect, right? So whoever would like to start off, what would be a mistake either you made or you've seen made by other colleagues that you've kind of learned from and kind of taken the next step? Who'd like to start?
I got a few curveballs, so I'll take it.
There you go.
So one of my maybe 8 years ago or so, I was highly competitive environment in the area where we're at, and I saw one of my competitors that was actually dominant in the area. I saw him leave the area. He stopped his marketing and he went for a more luxurious location, and he did it, and he kind of just completely abandoned years and years of marketing, of notoriety, of working that neighborhood, a neighborhood he actually used to live in. So I learned he did that, and his business crashed for like 3 years. And so early in my career, I learned something valuable there, I think, that's really stay consistent. Consistency in this industry is important. This is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So we might reap the fruits of that right away. It might take next year before we see 2 or 3 of those listings or those clients come to the table. So I would just encourage you, in baseball, if you hit 300, you're in the Hall of Fame. You're failing 70% of the time. It's a grind in this industry. Stay consistent, stay at it, and we're going to have our days that are up and down. But don't flee the coop if you're not seeing that fruit. Stay consistent with your marketing.
Good lesson.
Yeah.
Jay, you look like you have a story
Well,
for us.
it's interesting is that we're in a relationship business. We're in a people-to-people business. And, during COVID, people got a little bit more isolated. But in real estate, I don't know about you, but it got really busy. Everybody wanted to make transitions and so forth. And my partner and I, we have a really solid bank of clients. And we feel like we do an amazing job in staying in relationship. However, what's interesting is you constantly have to nurture. And the mistake we made is that we got really, really busy during COVID, and people we thought, we worked with them for years. But then we went back around the following year to do our little cookie campaign, and the person moved without us. And we were shocked and surprised that that had happened. And what we learned is that in today's world, the easy option, that contract and the offer being placed without having advisement, they just took it and they moved out of state in the middle of COVID because one of the builders in our area door knocked them and gave them an offer. And we looked at each other in complete disbelief, like, you've got to be kidding me. We worked with them for 8 years and got them this opportunity, and they up and left and didn't even call us. And so even though we feel we have these deep relationships, the constant nurture has to be there, and we can't take any of our people for granted and we thought we were memorable, but we're not. You're really forgettable, and that you've got to stay in deep relationship because taking any of those for granted, they will move on without you, surprisingly. So that was the first client that's ever done that, so we learned a hard lesson that way. So, yeah.
Chantal?
Well, I think the mistake that I made actually was when I first started real estate. And I think I misjudged this whole industry, and I can see how people do that on a daily basis. I did not have my real estate license, and someone approached me and said, one of the bigger owners of one of the bigger brands in our area, and said, hey, you should get your license. And I was like, oh, I got so offended because I felt, I had my law degree, so it's kind of easy to get, but I felt that it was pretty easy to be a real estate agent, and I did not really understand the whole essence of what we do. And looking back now, I've had my license for 15 years and have this incredible team and incredible ecosystem around us of clients and agents and what we created. And it's so amazing to see how every person here, I know that for a fact about my team, is leaving a mark every single day. We are changing lives, one transaction at a time. And this is how we leave a mark. I'm a big believer that we're here to leave a mark. We're here for a short time from the moment we're born until we die. Death actually is my biggest motivation. Sounds funny, but think about it. If you're coming to this world for a reason, you better leave a dent. And I for sure know that every person on my team is leaving a dent by being an extension of a brand, by sharing similar core values, being very client-centric, doing the right thing always, and really providing value on an everyday level. Think about it. Think about the buyer that you brought to a property that if it was not for you touching their lives, they would have a whole different trajectory, a whole different life. Their kid will be in different schools. It's crazy to think about it. Same thing with sellers. We are living legacy. We help people create legacy and sell homes for super high prices and move their homes next to their kids or move to the next state. If it wasn't for us, their life would be completely different. So it's just so amazing to me how undervalued what we do on a daily basis and the impact that we leave on people's lives, one transaction at a time.
True.
This is amazing.
True. Steve, I'm waiting for your lesson. Here's a good one.
After Maytal, I don't. Yes to everything she said. As far as like mishaps, I was just sitting here thinking about, there's so many, obviously, right? We learn from our mistakes. I think a little off the road here, the reservation, but hiring the wrong agent is probably my biggest mistake because the teams are so community-driven and family-driven, and you add kind of one little cancerous thing in there and it ruins everything. And so Jay said something earlier about, don't follow the money. right? The money will come if you're great at what you do. And I think earlier in my career, I would get glamored by an agent who wanted to be part of my world. And then you look at their production, you're like, oh my God, they're killing it. Like, this is so good for us. But in my heart, I was like, this is not a good fit for my company. And I would hire that person anyway, and then it's just a shit show. And so that ruins the whole vibe. Ultimately, you have to fire that person. You didn't do them a service. You didn't do your team or yourself a service. And I think piggybacking on that is working with clients that aren't a good fit for you either. And the most powerful thing, not the most, but one of the most powerful things as agents we can do is say no, right? You don't have to work with anybody. And so, again, being glamored by the money, it's like you've got this opportunity to sell a very expensive home, but you and the client don't see the world through the same lenses. To me, that's just a car crash, like waiting to happen. So as I've gotten older, more mature, and created the company and the teams and different areas, it's working with like-minded people has really, and as far as future-proofing, I mean, that's the golden ticket right there.
Love that.
Good job, Steve.
So I love all these stories. I love the fact that we can talk about things that don't go right. But the thread I'm hearing here is focus and consistency, right?
Yes.
You got 4 incredible top brand owners here, and they're crushing it. But again, it's very, very simplistic, but it's hard to keep that focus, right?
Correct. But it does help when you are in the side community, I will say. Sure. It has been wonderful to have colleagues that meeting from all over the country, where we can have similar qualities that we can share with each other. And the level of quality is so much higher to just be a part of Side, and then to meet the other partners, to meet the other founders. The level is already elevated, so it makes it enjoyable to want to meet other people within this kind of events and within the platforms and so forth.
And the sharing. I've never experienced anything like that at another brokerage.
Yeah.
Nobody shares anything. It's like everyone's out to kill each other. Here, everybody's just like, here's what I do, and I'll print it out for you. I'll email you. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Cheers to that. Let's take the conversation down a little bit more different path. We're talking about the consistency, but again, we all know it's a dynamic market. It's a dynamic business. So let's talk about each one of your kind of mindsets and what are you looking for in your own market to make those analysis of when to pivot and what to do next. So is there any key points you look at in your kind of business planning to look ahead? Tal?
So we look at data and information every day. Being a market expert is a crucial point to being successful and being able to provide value. And this information that we're taking is just on a national level, we provide information to the agent as a reminder. We're all busy all the time. Every 2 weeks, we'll send an update on what is going on in the coastal Orange County market. And beyond the everyday NMLS, we have boots on the ground. So it's not just my 2 boots on the ground. I have 20 boots on the ground. And we have consistent team meetings every week, every Tuesday at 10 a.m. We start with mindset, and we focus on work ethic, sharing pocket listings, information, talking about what the agents are seeing through all the open houses that they're holding. So it goes from the macro down to the granular level of how we can, what do we hear, what do we see, because it does change on a weekly basis, and really utilizing that to allow and provide more value. For example, we just launched our Livell app, that we're able to provide our clients specific VIP information through push notifications on pocket listings or restaurants in the area or vendors that we never want to share. So we really are making sure that we're always leveling up. It's either with that and in terms of providing value to our clients, in terms of creating VIP events and collaborating with top brands in a way that our clients are used to the consistency of the marketing, and they anticipate and love coming to those events because they get to meet people that are like-minded, and they network with between themselves, which is amazing to see that clients of ours going to dinners and becoming friends and creating this whole ecosystem with our clients. We are really big on sellers communications as well. We have a proprietary report that we created. We have systems and SOPs for everything that we do in the business, and the sellers are expected to get every Wednesday a report how their property performed from all the syndication sites, from all the, not just the MLS where we push the property to the Wall Street Journal and the Robb Report, and where the property was marketed on the social media, digital advertisement, the print media. We're really big on consistency in terms of getting the marketing out. We provide our agents with a consistent marketing plan that they can just go, hey, it's in active pipe, just go and send the e-blast. So creating the consistency in the marketing and being in touch with what's happening on a daily basis in the market, we always pivot and changing to level up every day with every product or marketing piece that we put out.
Awesome, awesome. Matt, how do you analyze and
Yeah,
guide your team?
I would agree. Know your market. I think one of our strengths is collaboration. We have many meetings as well, and so in those meetings we share what's going on. How's the market responding to this property? How's the market responding to that property? What are your showings like? Open houses. And so that information and feedback is fueling the current status of the market. Our house is sitting. What's the average days on market? Be an expert in your market. I think we're also very community oriented. We do a lot of community events. It's key. Our business is relational, more than transactional. So if we're sitting in an office all day, we're not going to have the opportunities we have if we get out there and get involved in our community. So I would encourage everyone, find something that's passionate to you in your heart and attach yourself to it in the community where you can impact people's lives. And in that, you're going to have opportunities to build meaningful relationships. We kind of have a motto. One of our core values is the most important person in our lives is the person right in front of us right now. And so in this busy world, you guys, I'm guilty of that sometimes, of being pulled in this direction or that direction. And we try to live everyone has value, everyone has worth. And so if we live our lives person by person, moment by moment, acknowledging that's how authentic relationships are built.
Love it, love it. Jay?
Well, what I have really learned over the last couple of decades is involvement. And we say that to our agents all the time as well. Get involved in your community. Roll your sleeves up. We're on the neighborhood council. My business partners created 2 501(c)(3)s that are benefiting our community. Like Maytal said, you have the dash, the day you're born, the day you die, and then you have the dash. And we're living in that dash right now. What are we doing with that? Are we leaving a mark? Are we leaving a deep imprint? And by serving, by giving back to the community, take less, do more. And so being involved means to be successful in the highly competitive marketplace of where we are between Beverly Hills and Santa Monica. You've got the best of the best. How does a little boutique like Hyla Realty not only survive but thrive there? It's because we give so much back. And when, it's the reciprocity, the law of reciprocity. The more you give, the more you get. But that's not the reason you give. Serving on the Women's Council of Realtors, serving on the board of directors for Greater Los Angeles Association of Realtors, and taking on all of these board tasks, not only do we have firsthand access to information, because knowledge is power, but with that power, we use it to give back and be able to succinctly convey to the people we're helping, to our community, the voice that we have, using that voice to have an impact, because frankly, we all had to fight pretty hard to vote, to have a voice as a participant in the world. And so to utilize that every way we can and know what's coming down the pipe. We're in a high development zone right now. There's a lot of changes moving quickly. And with the access of information, to be ahead of it before it even comes out, and to be able to feed that to the people within our sphere, it's crucial. People then look at you as the authority. You're the person that brought that information to them. And the person that brings the information to someone first, you then are the superpower. You're the person that has conveyed, oh, I didn't hear this. You're the first person who's told me about this unbelievable development that's about to happen. Absolutely. That's how you become the person. Now they call us the mayor of Pico Boulevard, because we're the people that help connect this business with that business, but also be the person that makes an impact in the community by rolling our sleeves up and getting dirty in the community by just cleaning it up, making a difference, having a voice. And that will totally make an impact, not only you as a human being, but also for your business and how it's conveyed, because then you're revered and respected by other business owners.
Awesome. Very good. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
So I'm fourth on this one. So what was the question? I swear to
How do you at Backbeat Homes?
I was so into what they were saying, but what was the exact
so
question?
much detail. It's crazy. Yeah, it's good stuff. How do you at Backbeat Homes analyze your market to understand what you're going to do as your growth plan?
Okay, yes. Yeah, analyzing the market. I mean, God, you guys are amazing, by the way. I feel like you're hired. No, we analyze the market less. I mean, look, I have an amazing team of admins, and my weaknesses are their strengths, and they do a lot more analyzing as far as analytics. But being part of the community, like they're saying, hitting Caravan, I think, is like this thing that we forget how important it is to be out there and not only seeing all the inventory, but meeting all the agents is crucial. I think the consistency is the inconsistency in this business and in this world, and like our community just burned down. January 6th, I had a real plan for 2025, and January 7th, it all changed. That's a whole other thing. But the being nimble, to me, is our greatest asset to the community. Is that we aren't some giant brokerage that can't move with things quickly. We were there for our clients in a way, and I'm sure anyone who's dealt with the fires, my heart goes out to you guys. But our job changed completely. I mean, the scope of what we did for 6 weeks, it wasn't even about making money or transacting. It was about helping people find a roof over their head. And so analyzing the market, I think we do the best we can, but I think just being, like they said, being part of the community and always being helpful. I didn't realize, this sounds arrogant every time I hear myself say it, but we are first responders. Yeah. I never knew that, until I knew it, And so, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just be good, just be great,
That was some great, deep insights from all four of you, and I appreciate you sharing, and I saw a lot of people taking notes there, so that's really great that we're all excelling from all this. I think we have time for two more quick hitters here, and maybe we may have one Q&A or so if we have time here. This is, I call this crystal ball question. Let's start with Steve. What does the future hold for your market in general? You've got probably the biggest X factor there, but I'd love to hear your vision of what's going on, how all we can help.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look at that question a little differently than the market, because I've been doing this 21 years, and the market, we've had our 2008s and our moments, but real estate's wonderful, right? And you get in and you hold it long enough, you do well, and our market shifts. But our little piece of the Los Angeles, specifically the pie, is helping creative people. LA is based on creative people traveling from all over the world and moving to LA for their dream. And for my business, it's if we really sink into that and help people and really understand that, like, it's not just a roof and walls and a floor, it's how much light is coming in, and are they going to be inspired to write a song in the morning when they wake up at this property, and all these different things. I think our market as Backbeat Homes, I think, is strong. There's always going to be people moving for the reasons that we can help them with.
Love that. Thank you, Steve. Jay, what do you see? Prediction for the future?
I think the prediction for future is technology is moving faster than we can blink. And needing to learn it is important. I know that with AI, some people are embracing it full on, and others are like, I really don't want that to infiltrate my life. But I dare say that just finishing a book with ChatGPT on our real estate brochure, it's amazing how within 5 minutes, talking into a recorder for 3 hours, answering the questions, and within 5 minutes, my business coach had this book written. It just came out yesterday. That's how quick technology is moving. If you use Gamma and you give it some prompts, and within 10 seconds, it creates the most succinct PowerPoint presentation on how to convey what you do to a trustee or a probate sale. So our data in, and then the creation comes out. We don't have to be the creators of content anymore, which I know some people cringe at that. I know there's a lot of agents in my office like, we're writers, we don't want that to happen. But it is happening. It's happening faster than we can possibly imagine. And I believe that the more we can embrace the efficiency in which we can do our job, so we can spend more time in the relationship part. There's so many tools out there that's moving faster than you can imagine, so it's pretty cool. And I say, dare jump in for the ride. It's pretty awesome.
Love it. Matt, crystal ball?
Yeah, I would say stay informed, stay engaged. You know, we've been doing this long enough to know that even, you know, Rick, our amazing economic forecaster, we never really know what's coming at us. So stay engaged, stay consistent, and stay in the game, because we really can't predict the future. But if you keep your eyes focused on doing your daily fundamentals and moving forward, then you can accomplish mighty things. I know there's a lot of San Francisco people in this room, but I'm a big Dodger fan. So let's go. Yeah. All right. So my favorite quote, and I say this in all seriousness, the Dodgers were a special team this year, and their superstar Mookie Betts, when they won it all, the reporter went right up to him and said, what was the difference? What made this team different than every other team that didn't get the job done? And he said, this team loves each other, they have love, and they have grit. Mm-hmm. And the love and the grit part, to me, is really what our organizations are about. We love people, and we go work hard for our companies, for our people, for our communities. And if we operate out of love and grit, I think that's the way that we push forward.
Thank you. Awesome. Mattel?
I always say, in terms of what's happening, we're not selling homes, we are selling lifestyle, we are selling lives, I mean, just future for people. And I see the future being in the younger generation that will come. I know it sounds like I'm an old lady, but it's really inspiring. The power of mentorship is really, really strong. I'm actually on the board of Big Brother, Big Sister Foundation of Orange County, and I'm able to observe that power every day. I'm able to observe that power through my incredible team. We actually have the child of one of my team members who's here. Trey, are you here? Say hi. So he joined us as a second generation to his mom, who's a rock star agent. And it's so inspiring and amazing for me to see, because all the AI and the technology that will come, I mean, he woke up with that within his binky when he was walking. It's kind of like, you know, it's like a no-brainer, right? And I see that future coming, and it's just so amazing to see the power of mentorship and how we grow agents within, whether it be newer agents that are joining us, like Carly started from, like, didn't have any experience and rocking it right now and seeing the growth. And it's just amazing to see how the power of mentorship, of collaborating with each other within the team and just paying it forward to the younger generation in a way. I think that's the future, and I anticipate, at least for us, to have more and more younger generation agents that come to the table that really understand the value of going deep versus going wide, creating their relationships, because I think this generation did not really grow up with that much, so it's actually exciting to bring it to the table. And also to break the misconception that unfortunately a lot of the reality real estate shows created, that you go to a house, you shake the hands and you make $1 million and you walk out. So I'm like, I'm sorry to break it to the generation, but you have to work, and work ethic and mindset really comes to play. So it's really fun to see that being implemented, and I do believe in the younger generation and paying that forward in a way that teaching that generation that we always complain that is always on their phones and all that, just kind of being a bit more deep and getting into relationships and really leaving a mark in this world.
Awesome, awesome. We have some takeaways here. Over there, we are at time. I want to thank all 4 of you for being amazing professionals, brokerage owners,